Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a dark aggressive loop for Southside or Lil Durk. In a lot of songs recently from Lil Durk, there's been like really heavy pianos, really aggressive vibes, and I just made a sample that's kind of in that style. It has a little bit of an orchestral vibe too, kind of like Southside. Yeah, as usual, I'm gonna go in and just break down everything I did. The samples from a sample pack that I just dropped today was synthetic. It has 30 dark orchestral samples like this one with 20 bonus midis. So I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description for that kit if you're interested. Anyways, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Let's get right into it. Alright, as you can see, I got the sample pulled up here. We're sitting at 122 BPM, and the final sample is E minor, and the sample's broken up into 3 different parts. And then, as always, I have the stems afterwards. But yeah, it's broken up into 3 different parts. I'll go ahead and play the sample. You can hear how it sounds, and then, like usual, I'm gonna just go through and break everything down. Yeah, as you can hear, really aggressive, really heavy, really dark, repetitive piano, strings, vocals. Yeah, it's definitely got a Lil Durk or Southside vibe. So yep, I'm gonna just go through and break down everything that I did. First thing that I did is I pulled up a piano from Kontakt. I pulled up Orchestral Essentials 2, Kontakt Bank, and then I pulled up the Intimate Piano preset. And then I came up with this really simple pattern. Right now we're in D sharp minor. Final sample is E minor. I pitched it up 1 semitone, but for everything right now we're in D sharp minor. I knew I wanted the piano to be really heavy and really repetitive, and I knew I wanted deep bass notes, so I just laid down literally 1 note on D sharp and then pitched it up 2 octaves. So we have D sharp at D sharp 2 and then D sharp at D sharp 4. Literally so simple. And then I came up with this top line melody. There wasn't really a thought process behind this melody. I just kind of whatever sounded good, and I think I started with this, pasted it over, changed this 1 note right here, and then pasted it over again, and then just made it different at the end. So that's pretty much it for the piano MIDI. But then what I did is I wanted this top line to be a little bit different and have different effects than the bass notes down here. I copied that to a different pattern, and I added different effects for the top line. And so for the bass notes, I added a little bit of Kramer tape stereo, some wobble and distortion. And then I added some reverb to it with Valhalla Vintage Verb. And then I EQ'd out some of the really low end. And then for the top line, put it to a different mixer track. And then I panned it to the right. I put on some delay, a lot more reverb, and then also EQ'd out some of the low end, some of the high end. So basically, I just wanted more reverb and more delay on the top line. So together, that sounds like this. And then I took that and I rendered it out as an audio file, pitched it up an octave, and then I reversed it. And so that sounds like this. And then I added a bunch of effects to that. So I added this preset from Valhalla Ubermod, added reverb, added some of this preset from Finisher Micro, and I EQ'd out a lot of the high end and a lot of the low end, and it sounds like this. So I basically turned the piano into a pad, and I just wanted some more ambient noise in the background for the piano. So when you combine all those together, it sounds really dope. So that's pretty much it for the piano. The next thing that I did is I added a string. Again, it's really simple, really repetitive. I pulled up a Flatus Kontakt Bank, and I used the Roof Chase Strings preset, and I just came up with this pattern. But yeah, for the pattern, really simple, just D sharp, 2 different octaves, and then one note playing in between. Yeah, nothing too crazy, really simple. I added, again, more reverb. I added halftime, 25%. I added an imager to widen it up, and then I EQ'd out a lot of the low end. And so with the effects, it sounds like this. Yeah, nothing too crazy at all, but it definitely adds to the dark and aggressive vibe. Okay, the next thing I did is I pulled up a choir from Choir Essentials, the woman performance, and I laid down this pattern right here. I added Echo Boy for some delay, and then I added this preset from Finisher Micro that just makes the panning go back and forth from left to right. And then I added a filter to kind of take out some of the highs and some of the lows. And so with all that, it sounds like this. And the last thing I did for this sample was I laid down a bass. It's a one-shot bass. Just followed the root note. The root note is pretty much the same throughout the whole sample except for the end. It goes from D sharp to A sharp. And then I added some distortion with Decapitator, this preset. Turn the drive up. Really heavy, really aggressive. And then once I had all the sounds picked out and everything laid out, all the midis, all I did was I broke it down into 3 parts. The first part has everything going, and then second part takes out the reverse piano and the top line, and so it's just the bass notes with the strings and the choir, and then the reverse piano comes back in, and then after that just put the stems like always. So once I did that, I rendered it out as an audio file, brought it back in, and then I pitched it up 1 semitone, so from D sharp to E. And then for the master, I put this fresh air preset on just to kind of boost the highs. I added a compressor, and then I boosted the gain. That's pretty much all I do on my master 90% of the time. Sometimes I'll add, you know, some sort of tape emulator or to make it sound more vintage, or RC20 or something to make it sound more vintage, but this didn't really need it. That's pretty much it for the sample. That's how I approach making a sample for Lil Durk or Southside. Really aggressive, really repetitive, dark piano with strings, choir, bass, all that. So yeah, hopefully you could take something away. Hopefully you learned something. Like I said, this sample is a part of a pack that I just dropped. I'll leave a link down in the description for that pack. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next video.